What's going on, guys? I've got a 2011 Kia Sorento here. I'm going to use this car to show you the location of the 3 fuses for the blower motor. I'll also point out to you the location of the blower motor relay. I'll show you how you can access the blower motor and the blower motor resistor. And I'm also going to give you some troubleshooting steps about everything. So to start with, we're going to remove this cover by pulling down here at the bottom and letting the top drop down. In here, we will find 2 important 7.5 amp fuses. They are both labeled air conditioning fuses. So there's one right here. You can see that's what a good fuse looks like. And another fuse right here. They're both 7.5 amp. And these are vital because they are involved in the blower motor relay powering on. And if you find that any of those are blown, there are some spare fuses under the hood. So let's move under the hood. In addition to the spare fuses, we'll also find the blower motor relay and another fuse here. So we push in on the tab here in the front and the 2 tabs in the back before we lift up. There will be a fuse puller there. It's missing on mine. And there's a spare 7.5 amp fuse for if you need that in the front. Now we've got our blower motor relay right here. And the fuse that provides power for the blower motor itself, it's actually built into this fuse assembly. So you can actually look through the transparent plastic here and see if it's blown or not. Best I can tell, this one is intact. Now, as far as removing this goes, you'll want to use like a flathead screwdriver. You can pry on one side and then alternate sides while you're prying. It's going to be stuck in there quite good, but eventually it will come out. So that's how you remove the relay. You know, my favorite way to test this relay, however, is before I remove it, I'll have the blower motor turned on with the engine running, and I'll just actually tap on that relay. Sometimes relays can get stuck, and by tapping on the relay, you can sometimes free it up. So if after tapping on this, the blower motor kicks on, you know this relay may be on its way out. We can also swap this relay with a known good relay. So we can use a cooling fan relay or the starter relay even, just as a troubleshooting step. Now what this does, when the relay energizes, it sends power to the blower motor. And it does that by connecting these 2 pins together. One of these pins receives power from this fuse here, and the other one goes to the blower motor. So if you measure power at least at one of these, then you know that the blower motor fuse is okay. And of course, you can directly send power to the blower motor yourself, but that's only half of the equation. So let's take a look at the blower motor. For it to work, it needs power from the relay, and it also needs ground. So the ground for the blower motor comes from either this switch when you've got it on the highest speed, or it comes from the blower motor resistor for the lower speeds. To get to it, there's 2 Phillips screws we've got to remove. So that's one down. Now we can see the blower motor itself is right here. And again, just like the relay, what I like to do is turn the blower motor on, and I'll just bang the bottom of this. You can use your fist or, you know, a multi-tool or a wrench, whatever. Sometimes there can be a bad connection in here, and by tapping on it, you can sometimes get the blower motor working again. I also like to grab the connector and start wiggling it around. I do all of this with the blower motor turned on. If I wiggle this and then the blower motor powers up, then I know that there's a bad connection at this connector piece right here. Now I also like to remove this. You can see there's the hook that retains it. You just squeeze it. Visually inspect the connection here. What we're looking for is signs of corrosion, or sometimes the pins can be burnt if there was a bad connection. We can also look at the pins going into the blower motor and see if they look good. The red wire carries ground from the red wire carries power from the blower motor relay. The blue wire carries ground. So you can test with the voltmeter here to see if you're missing ground or if you're missing power. If you see voltage across these two terminals, but the blower motor is not coming on, you've got to remove this blower motor. It's just held in with some Phillips screws. If you don't see a ground coming through, you'll want to investigate further by looking at the blower motor resistor, which is right here. So yeah, I hope that this information was helpful for you and was a good starting point in troubleshooting the blower motor on your Kia Sorento. Please let me know if you have any questions, or more importantly, if you have any advice for getting the blower motor working again. Thanks for watching.